The film 15 Days of Dance chronicles the making of the ballet Ghostlight from its inception in the studios at American Ballet Theatre in New York through the finishing process here at the University at Buffalo. We probably had between 68 and 70 hours of filmed material that became an 18-hour finished film in 19 different parts. The decision to make the film 18 hours was a big decision because I didn't have a preconceived idea starting the project how long the film would be. Anything that I thought about was closer to a length around 90 minutes to 2 hours. And when I started looking at the material and thinking about it and dealing with it, the idea for how long the film should be was completely influenced by the structure of the work as it was beginning to be edited. And I sat with this idea of the film being 18 hours for quite a long time. Frankly, I was scared to accept the idea. I fought with it for a while, but I kept coming back to the same place. I'm placing an emphasis on the process of the making of dance. I'm also saying that the process of the making of a dance is important enough to warrant 18 hours. I'm not looking to have anyone sit in tedium or waste anyone's time. But the history of dance is seen through the history of film. Documentation of how a work is made, looking into the creative process, is something that we can never get enough of. The filmed part, the 18 hours, warrants the length. Understanding how this particular ballet got made can only happen through an intense examination of each section and each movement. Ghostlight tells a story in that Brian Reeder based concepts for the dance on the history of theater, the history of the theater, the ghostlight being a single limited source of light that would sit on stage so that people, if anyone was around the theater, they wouldn't fall off the stage or hurt themselves. The music in Ghostlight is by Elliot Caplan. Also an amazing choice. The music is called Music for Theater, which was composed in 1932. There's a sense of history in the music, covering different styles, and the choreography covers different styles. There are different costumes, and all of that relates to Buffalo. Buffalo enjoys a great arts reputation now, and it has been like that for many generations. That history is something that the choreographer wanted to reflect in the piece Ghostlight. I was fortunate in the choice of Brian Reeder as choreographer and the choice of American Ballet Theatre Studio Company. Everyone worked together toward a goal of they had to finish the dance, and they knew that I was there to make some kind of a film that no one knew what it was going to be about. It's very imposing having a camera in a room for dancers and a choreographer, because they don't know. The dancers don't know what the movement's going to be. The choreographer's trying out ideas. There couldn't be a more uncomfortable situation for them. And I was there from the start to the finish. I was very respectful of their workspace, and I never wanted to draw attention to myself in any way. I would sit quietly for an entire day or evening, however long the rehearsal was. I would take my breaks with the dancers, and we came to know one another because I never wanted to interrupt their process. Filmmakers aren't employed over a long period of time with dance companies, and that's the problem. One important aspect that hasn't gotten any attention yet has to do with the fact that this project came from a university. I like so much that UB as a research institution has these possibilities. You know, it connects again to the city of Buffalo. Buffalo is a place, like an open place where things can happen. It's a place where ideas can be proposed and entertained and accomplished. I think this project is kind of, in some way, if you'll forgive me, sending small shock waves in certain parts of the arts community, because everyone's saying the same thing. How did this happen? And today, we don't live at a time where museums commission new works. These are tough economic times. It's tough to make art. Arts budgets are the first to be slashed when states have difficulty meeting their financial obligations, and we all suffer. And here's the university sitting in the middle of all this as a kind of cultural driver. Isn't that amazing that the university can become the new model by which new work happens that would have no possibility of happening any other way were it not for the university.